change has come over me. He changed my life, and now I'm free. He washed away all my sins, and he made me whole. He washed me white as snow. He changed my life complete, and now I sit at his feet to do what must be done. I'll work and work until he comes.
And it is dangerous to look down on somebody else when they find themselves in need of help. It is easy and it is dangerous to judge somebody when they need some help. It is easy and it is dangerous to ridicule somebody when they need some help. We've got to understand that we may not need some help today, but if we keep on waking up and saying good morning, if we keep on waking up and seeing the sun over in the eastern horizon, if we keep on waking up, sooner or later, one of these risings and settings of the sun, one of these good old days, I don't know when, I don't know where I'll be, I don't know how I'll be doing, I don't know what I'll be doing, but one thing I know for sure, that if I keep on waking up and telling my wife good morning, there's going to come a time in my life when I'm going to need some help. Got to understand, we've got to understand that there will come a day when we too will find that the need of help will come to visit our house. Be careful about talking about somebody else's house. Because the same thing that can happen on their street can make its way down your street. Be careful about talking about what's going on in somebody else's house. That's why I tell folk all the time, don't you talk about nobody else's child, because the same thing somebody else's child will do, baby, you ain't that good of a parent. Your child will do it too. Don't you talk about somebody else's husband, because the same thing that somebody else's husband will do, baby, if you don't watch yourself, your man will be creeping in the same place that somebody, you better pray for him, ask God to bring them out and love them. Better be careful. Better be careful. Better be careful, St. John, about what we say about somebody else. Because I've learned, Brother Michael, that God's got a way. Oh, Sister Teen, he's got a way. God's got a way of making us regret the words that we say. God's got a way of making that thing leave your house and come to my house. God's got a way. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. You better watch yourself. You better check yourself before you wreck yourself. And you better believe and you better know that God is the reason.
Folk that's
doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that, or done a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You wondering how you made it. I stopped by to let you know how you made it. You made it on mama's prayers. You made it on daddy's prayers. You made it on big mama's prayers and big daddy's prayers. You ought to get home today and just throw your arms around mama and say, Mama, I just thank you. And if she asks you what you think, not because you bought me anything, not because you cooked for me, not because you paid my bill, not because you gave me clothes. I just thank you, Mama, because you prayed for me. Because I know I never would have came out of the mess that I came out of if you hadn't prayed for me. I know I never would have been delivered if you had not have prayed for me. In your difficulties, it is not the time to give up. During your difficulties, that is not the time to give up. That is the time, watch this, to trust God more. David said, I'm going to compose these Psalms 120 through 134, and I'm going to call these Psalms the Psalms of Ascent, or the Psalms of Rising. Because I believe in my spirit that what the Lord is doing is he is taking me from one place in my life to another place. I believe that what the Lord is doing is he's plucking me out of the tumultuous situation that I am in right now, and he's carrying me to a peaceful one. I believe that what God is doing is he's raising me up over the things that I'm going through, because he wants me to know that even in the midst of my hell, he's still God. Tell your neighbor, even in the midst of your hell, he's still God. When they lying on you, he's still God. When they talking about you, he's still God. When they say you won't make it, he's still God. When they acting crazy on the job, he's still God. When your money is funny and your credit won't get it, he's still God. When your change is strange, he's still God. When folk don't like you, he's still God. When you ain't got no car, he's still God. When your house is leaking, he's still God. When the dog has run away, he's still God. When your children acting crazy, he's still God. God does not change by stuff. God, stuff is changed by God. Comes from God, and we do what God said do, and we walk like God said walk, and we talk like God says talk, and we live like God said live. Everything will be all right. Is there anybody here? You know where your help is coming from. Is there anybody here? You know when trouble comes, go to the rock, Christ Jesus. When heartaches come, go to the rock, Christ Jesus. When difficulties come, go to the rock. He will, 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 he will. I know he will. He will. I know he will. 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 God will. Yes, he will. He'll make it all right. Yes, he will.